Beris wiped cinder clean on the rags of a fallen kobold, the dying embers of its body still smoldering. He sheathed the blade and exhaled, letting the silence settle over the ruined watchtower. The wind still howled through the peaks, but the cries of battle had faded, replaced only by the crackling of scorched remains and the distant groan of shifting ice. With methodical precision, he began searching the corpses. Kobolds were scavengers, opportunists. They wouldn't have had much, but anything of value they had stolen might still be worth reclaiming. He rifled through their crude leather pouches, finding little more than rusted coins, jagged shards of metal that might have once been weapons, and bits of dried meat so rancid it wasn't fit for a starving beast. Then, something unusual. One of the kobolds, a slinger, had a rolled piece of parchment tucked beneath its belt, wrapped in twine and sealed with a rough smear of wax. Beris unrolled it, his green eyes narrowing as he took in its details. A map. Not a particularly well-drawn one. Kobold scrawl was erratic, jagged lines intersecting natural formations, rivers drawn with crude scratches. It depicted the mountain range with some accuracy, showing pathways, valleys, and even the location of the watchtower ruins where he now stood. Unsurprisingly, his keep was absent from the map. The enchantments surrounding it ensured that even the most skilled cartographers would find it impossible to mark, as if the land itself rejected any attempt to chart its existence. But what caught his attention were the markings, strange, deliberate symbols scattered in places where few would have reason to go. A lone cave deep in the cliffs, a frozen lake beyond the southern ridge, a crevasse near the valley floor, where the snow never settled. Each bore a different sigil, etched in ink that had long since faded. Some resembled jagged runes, others a crude depiction of a clawed hand, and one in particular, a spiraled symbol near the cave, sent a flicker of recognition through his mind. Beris frowned, scanning his memory. He had seen similar markings before, etched into the armor of a slain sorcerer he once faced in Icewind Dale, drawn onto the stone of an ancient ruin, long buried in frost. They were not kobold markings. They were something older, something dangerous. The fact that these kobolds possessed such a map meant they had been searching for something. Or worse, they had already found it. Rolling the parchment back up, Beris tucked it into his belt. He cast a final glance at the corpses littering the watchtower, then toward the snowy expanse beyond. His battle here had been simple, straightforward. A slaughter with purpose. But this was something else. Kobolds didn't map out territory unless they were following orders. Someone or something had given them this, and that meant there was a greater force at work in the mountains. Beris turned away from the ruins, his boots crunching through the snow as he made his way back toward his keep. The journey was long and cold, but he knew the way well. The howling winds and treacherous paths were no threat to him, not with the protections his keep offered. The trek was arduous, the slopes steep and treacherous beneath a fresh layer of ice. Snow clung to his armor, frost gathering in his beard as the relentless winds tore through the mountainside. He moved with purpose, his unnatural strength allowing him to traverse the rugged terrain with ease. But even he was not immune to the mountain's cruelty. The deeper he went, the more the world around him felt desolate. The spine of the world was an unforgiving place, where only the strongest survived. There were no villages here, no welcoming hearths or sheltering inns, only the raw, untamed wilds, where death lurked in the form of unseen crevasses, prowling beasts, and the unyielding cold. Hours later, the illusion-shrouded fortress came into view, its massive stone walls untouched by the surrounding blizzards. The sight was always striking, even to him. It stood like a bastion of defiance against the elements, a place where warmth flourished in a world of frost. The moment he passed through its enchanted gates, the bitter chill of the mountain vanished, replaced by the comforting embrace of perpetual spring. Snow melted from his boots, his breath no longer visible in the air. Trees rustled gently in an unseen breeze, their leaves vibrant and green. The keep's magic was ancient, powerful, and absolute. It was the one place in the world where Beris could truly call home. Before anything else, he made his way to the stables, where his manticore rested. The massive beast lay curled upon a thick bed of pelts, its barbed tail flicking lazily as it caught his scent. Its wings stretched slightly before folding back, the leathery appendages shifting as the creature let out a low, guttural growl of recognition. Beris approached, running a hand through the coarse, untamed mane of the beast. The manticore chuffed softly, nudging into his palm before shifting its weight, content in its master's presence. He inspected its condition. Claws sharp, muscles taut, fur well kept by the keep's caretakers. It was strong, ready should he need it. Satisfied, he turned and strode toward the great hall. Inside, the scent of roasted meat and fresh bread filled the air, the grand hall aglow with torchlight. A fire roared in the great hearth, casting flickering shadows along the stone walls. The long tables were occupied by warriors and attendants, their murmurs and laughter filling the space with the warmth of camaraderie. The air was thick with the scent of seasoned venison, spiced mead, and the faint aroma of melting wax from the hanging chandeliers. Servants moved with practiced efficiency, refilling goblets and bringing forth fresh platters of food. The great hall itself was a testament to the prosperity of Beris's domain. Massive banners hung from the ceiling, each embroidered with sigils of past conquests, and the long oaken table bore deep grooves, worn from years of feasting and fellowship. His warriors and servants greeted him with nods and murmurs of respect as he made his way toward the long table, taking his place at its head. A large silver goblet filled with mead was set before him, its surface frosted from the chill of the drink. He picked it up, taking a slow sip, savoring the warmth as it spread through his chest. The map sat beside him, untouched for now. There would be time to decipher its meaning later. For now, he would eat, drink, and rest. The mountains would not change overnight.